we are extremely happy as journalists and communicators this morning to have a distinguished guest, Ms. Paula Yacoubian, a Lebanese lawmaker. Extremely happy because we have this intersectionality between media and work on justice. And we do have here a political activist of Armenian descent, actually, that is very well recognized in Lebanon amongst the most prominent figures in media and politics, a very strong career in broadcasting, while becoming a leading advocate for social justice, women's rights, and political reform. So we welcome to our live broadcast, Mrs. Paula Yacoubian.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for finding the time to be with us.
My pleasure.
Paula, allow me to use your name directly. Sure. Your work so often highlights stories that remain in the shadows, and you do that in a very inspiring way. Stories of cultural erasure to religious persecution, having the deep understanding from the Armenian heritage that you have. How do you actually approach this intersection between journalism, cultural heritage, all of the intersectionalities that we find in your identity? And why do you believe that it's important to raise voices in media specifically in this context of what is happening in Artsakh, Nagorno-Karabakh right now?
Well, before talking about Nagorno-Karabakh or Artsakh, I would like to say that I come from a country where diversity wasn't always a good thing. Mm-hmm. And I embody this diversity within my family. So my mother is Lebanese, not Armenian originally. My father is Armenian, and he's a genocide survivor. He was 4 years old when he saw all his family slaughtered before his eyes. He left Zaytun, and he had to walk the Syrian desert, and he arrived to Mount Lebanon without a family, an orphan, and he received help from Lebanese and from Muslim Arabs. And I would like to say that because when I hear that the conflict is Christian, Muslim, I don't think that was the case. Germany was a Christian nation at that time. It had the Ottomans. It gave them the weapons that killed the Armenians. And Arabs who are Muslim had the Armenians, and many survived. One of them is my father because of this help. So I have this heritage in me, and I would like to always repeat this, because when I see that wars everywhere sometimes have, from outside, if you look at the conflict, you think it's a religious conflict. It has religion in it. It's not the case. Most of the time it's political. But they work on our divisions. They work on our differences. Divide and conquer, this is the motto of the politicians, the dividers, not all politicians. So I'm hoping, for a new wave in the world where you bring people together for peace, justice, tolerance, love. This is not naive. This is how it should be. I mean, we share this, earth, all of us, no matter where we come from, what religion we believe in. Earth is for all of us, and we really need to work for this, and we really need to talk about this more and more. So for me, it's very important that my blood is Armenian, and I come from this history, this heavy history of the worst genocide ever happened. And I lived the genocide within my house. I used to hear my father, when I was really a little girl, telling us what happened, talking that he still, when he sleeps, he can still, have not nightmares, but dreams about his mother and her face, despite the fact that she was slaughtered in front of his eyes. So for me, I carry this heritage with pride, and I feel that I'm blessed because we were not, those committing atrocities. I prefer to be the victim and not the killer, not the criminal. And I hope one day that really justice everywhere in the world, especially for the Armenian cause, that one day justice will be served.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for highlighting as well the instrumentalization of religion in so many different ways
Sure.
on all of these, in all of these political conflicts connected to interests of all kinds. How much your heritage, your family, the stories that you have just shared influenced, of course, who you are today and the fields of, I would say, professional, the choices that you made professionally, because you have a very vast range of activities, a very impactful way of participating in the society you live in. How much your identity is like connected to the story of Armenia.
One of the
Lebanon.
first shows ever, my first show ever as host was on the Armenian genocide. And I remember very well because my mother, she was laughing. I mean, I started my career when I was 17 and I was reading the news when I was 17, only 17, at a very, very early age after the Lebanese civil war. A few years after that, I just finished school and I was going to university. I was going to enroll in something totally different. I was going to do nutrition. It was à la mode at that time. It was very trendy to do nutrition. And then by coincidence, I got this job reading the news. And then after reading the news for a while, I go and ask the manager of the television I used to work with, ICN. I told them, April 24 is coming. I would love if you can give me the chance to do something on the Armenian genocide in Arabic. Because most of the time, we talk within the Armenians, we talk between us. I would like to bring it to a bigger audience. And he gave me that chance. And he also gave me an auditorium when I had the religious leaders of Lebanon, Armenian religious leaders, MPs, the political parties, the Tashnak, Henshak, Ramgavar. And it was a very good and excellent debate. We had also non-Armenians, a historian who always write about the Armenian cause. So that was the first show ever in my entire career. This is where I started, by trying to bring to a bigger audience why we are in Lebanon, why we are Armenians. We speak a different language, we come from a different background, but yet we are in a country that some people doesn't know, just like, why are these people in our country and not in Armenia? Especially that after the 90s, there was an Armenia that took its independence from the Soviet Union. So for me, it was an eye opener, and at the same time, it was a path that I made up my mind. Every April 24, I want to do something, and since then, we do something. Sometimes we do a big event, sometimes we do prayer, sometimes I do a TV show. It depends the circumstances. But every April 24, we have an event on the genocide, and we would like also, the world to know what happened to us, so it won't happen to others. Impunity is very, very dangerous. When justice is not served, this is a door for more atrocities, for more crimes like genocide. So I feel it's a duty, to prevent it if we talk about it. It's not only about Armenians, it's about all humanity.
Exactly. And Paula, do you have specific proposals for media experts? Let's say that we have colleagues now in international media that are following, in terms of methods that they're able to use from a journalistic perspective in order to make sure that this erasure of cultural, historical identity is not allowed in places of conflict. What we have in Artsakh right now is so strong.
Yes, exactly. We need to reach out and we need to say that the genocide is ongoing in Artsakh. They're erasing our history, destroying khachkars and churches. And the problem is, in French, you say, it's the power. Those who have power are those who rule. La loi du plus fort. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's very dangerous. Azerbaijan obviously is stronger than Armenia today, but we are very strong if we work as a diaspora And we have also another strength, that we have justice on our side, that we are asking for what's right. These people lived in this land for thousands of years. This is their land, their homes. So hopefully that we can live one day in a more just world. We should struggle for that, and we should pray for it.
Thank you. And shall we conclude with a message of hope? We have so many young people following us in social media.
Sure.
Let's say that we have a young girl of Armenian descent. You serve as a role model at so many levels. What would you share? What is your message with?
Listen, being part of this important conference gave me hope. I felt that others are thinking, how can we raise awareness around the Armenian genocide and all the genocides that are still ongoing till today? You wouldn't imagine that, we have social media today, we have cameras everywhere, every single little crime is taped, and yet it's still happening. It's happening in Gaza, it's happening in too many places. So I think we have to do much, much more. And I tell these girls, instead of being so swamped by these trends and all the hype of the social media and the fashion and all of that, this is nice. I'm not saying that you should, leave all of that.
Course.
But just remember that there's important issues in life, important causes you should also know about and preach other about. Because I see today, like TikTokers, YouTubers, they have millions and millions of followers, but they stick to a very shallow and the very, how to say, I don't want to use bad words, but I mean, sometimes very stupid message. Use this following, use your fame sometimes to have these messages, going across. If we can do that, if we can convince them that they can also be influencers, not only using makeup and fashion, using other things, it will not, limit their following. On the contrary, they will grow even more and more, and they will gain respect.
Oh.
So this is what I can tell them. Go there and don't be afraid.
Thank you.
Thank
they
you
have the
so
knowledge,
much.
they have the emotional strength to
Yes,
do it.
exactly.
Thank you for your message,
Thank you
Paula.
so much.
And all the best as you continue your important work
Thank you so
in
much.
Lebanon and worldwide.
Thank you. Thank you.